Hey, Life Groups, welcome back and thank you so much for gathering this week. We are in the third week of our parable series, and as we've seen throughout this series, Jesus often teaches using parables, simple stories that carry deep spiritual truths. And these stories were meant to provoke thought, challenge assumptions, and reveal what God's kingdom was really like. And through parables, Jesus often showed us God's character, his expectations for humanity, and how we're meant to live as his people. And so far in this series, we've looked at the parable of the wineskins, which challenge us to embrace spiritual growth and necessary change. And then last week, we talked about the parable of the 10 bridesmaids, which reminded us to live ready for Christ's return. And today, to build on that theme of readiness, we're looking at the parable of the lampstand. This parable comes from Jesus' Sermon on the Mount, where he taught his followers how to live distinct, purpose-filled lives that make the kingdom of God visible to the world. Now, in Matthew chapter 5, Jesus says that you are the light of the world. This isn't just encouragement, it's identity and responsibility. In biblical times, homes were lit by small oil lamps, and because the light was limited, placement mattered. A lamp on a lampstand could illuminate the whole house, but hidden behind a bowl or under a chair or somewhere inconvenient, it was useless. Jesus uses this picture to teach us how our faith is meant to function and light up the world around us. And first, we're called to become the light. Jesus doesn't say that we might be the light someday. He says you are the light of the world. We reflect Christ, who is the true light. And when we follow him, our lives shift from darkness to light, and that light naturally spills out to others. Even new believers shine simply because faith itself produces light. Secondly, we must position our lamp. Light is not meant to be hidden, and we're not called to retreat from the world, but we are called to intentionally engage with the world. When we elevate Christ above comfort, pleasure, and fear, our lives begin to shine where God has placed us, whether that's at work, at home, within a neighborhood, or in everyday moments in life. Finally, we're called to let our light shine. And the way we live either reveals or obscures God's light. We hide it when we stay silent, blend in with the world, tolerate sin, or ignore the needs of others. But when our good deeds flow from faith, they point people not to us, but to our Father in heaven. The key to shining brightly is staying connected to the source. The closer we remain to Jesus, the brighter our light becomes, and even the smallest beam of light can cut through the darkest of places. And Jesus reminds us that those who truly listen and respond will be given even more. When we surrender fully, grow spiritually, and live on mission, God multiplies our influence and our impact. And what an incredible calling that is, to be bearers of his light into a dark world. Enjoy your discussion today.